In the early 19th century, we tried to feed people bone juice. As clickbaity as that sounds, it's actually true. A food shortage in France seemed to have come to an end when chemists discovered that gelatin could be extracted from leftover bones. People of means could consume the meat, while the poor would receive a gelatin broth. You know, since they didn't have any cake. The poor, as it seems, kind of disagreed with this absolutely equal, not at all discriminatory idea of food distribution and revolted. The authorities appointed a committee, the Gelatin Commission, to evaluate gelatin. Closer to home, in the Dutch East Indian Territory, a physician noted a beriberi-like disease sprouting up in chickens who were fed polished rice. Beriberi is a disease that attacks your nervous and cardiovascular system. So yes, very serious and very, very scary. This realization was the beginning of a series of events and scientific studies that culminated in the discovery of a yet unknown and slightly important food component: vitamins. A couple of gruesome, definitely not PETA-friendly experiments later, scientists figured that diseases like scurvy and rickets were not caused by bacteria and had to depend upon unsuspected dietetic factors. Eventually, it was nitrogen. Nitrogen was the key to the compounds missing from our food. This is where the word vitamin comes from. Vita as in life and amine as in amines, chemicals with nitrogen in them. Enter science, announcing to the world that they might just have a nutritional deficiency. Casimir Funk proposes the idea that various diseases could be cured if these nutrients were present in your food. And thus, the first once-a-day multivitamin appeared in 1943. As you can guess, they became all the rage. People happily took their chance at a healthier lifestyle. Everybody and their grandmas wanted vitamins. Studies into supplements gained momentum on a massive scale, and people found out that a lot of folk medicines turned out to be vitamin dependent. Traditionally, dietary supplements have been governed by ingredients that are naturally found in daily foods that we all consume. The idea is that you can easily get a sufficient amount, provided you have a regular healthy diet. Vitamins, that way, don't play hard to get. We realized that over a long period of time, and because of our hectic lifestyles, sometimes the production of naturally occurring hormones could be affected. And so, we started looking into ways where we could get the best of both worlds, not miss out on hormones, and also stay up till 4 a.m. losing about 10 games of chess against Nadia, who makes really good mulled wine in her small but surprisingly spacious apartment in Siberia. This is when we began looking into consuming supplements that are synthesized. There was melatonin that helped you with sleep that could now directly be consumed. The same could be done for collagen and glutathione, which could be taken either directly or by consuming plant-based extracts that act as precursors to help your body produce them. You had herbal and plant-based extracts and probiotics, which weren't consumed regularly but did have proven benefits. The list is endless. Ashwagandha, lutein, chamomile, caffeine, apple cider vinegar, plant proteins, curcumin, CBD, etc. They became sort of like your Avengers. Now, you could get supplements for anything and everything. But who wants to swallow pills all day? Not me. A perception of vitamins as medicinal led to companies coming up with various sorts of formats. You can get vitamins in all shapes and forms now. Gummies, powders, strips, sprays, you name it, we got it. And for a large part, these vitamins and supplements are designed to sell, to promise outrageously healthy benefits. Not always do you actually need them, but also, at times, you do. So, what do you do and how do you decide? While most people do not need vitamin supplements and can get all they need from a healthy, balanced diet, provided that you have time for one, there are still some exceptions. For example, vitamin D. We get it from being out in the sun. Here in India, the sun's got us covered. But did you ever think about Nadia in Siberia? She doesn't get the sun for 6 months. Where would she get her vitamin D from? Have you ever thought about that? Or how a vitamin D deficiency could potentially damage her and her wine business? Yeah, I bet you haven't. Similarly, there are iron and folic acid supplements that are often recommended for pregnant women or those trying to get pregnant. Some heavy alcohol users could benefit from multivitamins. Vitamin C is great for skin and for sailors. This doesn't mean you go out and gobble up every vitamin you can, mind you. Genetics professor Tim Spector was one of the first people who found results suggesting that about 50% of your vitamin levels can be because of your genes. What level might be normal for me does not necessarily have to be for you. As such, the only way these additional supplements work out for us is if they're personalized. You can't go around asking which supplements Robert Downey Jr. takes before deciding on your regimen. Consult your doctor. Also, you don't need to ask about that. RDJ clearly takes iron, man. There are well-researched online tests that take 5 minutes to help you find out if you need supplements at all. The good folks at Setu have developed one such quiz. It's called the Setu Sense Test. Give it a shot. I know it's a lot to take in, but there's just this last bit of information that I urge you to always remember. Don't just take my word for it. Research yourself or consult somebody with a medical background before consuming any supplements. Coffee time. There's not even coffee in there.